So I discussed yesterday how I've had video ideas that I haven't had time to do. And Sunday, wife's in church with the kids. I'm home. I could watch anything I wanted on television or the internet. Here I am talking to you guys. Because there's something the hockey news used to do, and I haven't seen it in forever. So I had to look it up. I had to do a little bit of research, and I had to do some math. There's going to be a lot of math from here on because, yeah, I'm going to do a lot of math from here on. So there used to be a listing they had on the most intimidating forwards in the game. They call it the Intimidation Quotient. So I had to look it up. And the way that they did their math was they would take every goal a player scores by 3 with a certain minimum and add their penalty minutes, and that comes up with your IQ, your Intimidation Quotient. So these are for players with high IQs. Bertuzzi used to be a favorite, and so was Jarome Iginla. Now, penalty minutes aren't where they used to be. Penalty minutes are about half of what they used to be. You don't see the fights, the misconducts, the bench clearing brawls, and all that stuff. So I didn't worry about that because you're supposed to subtract misconducts, but we don't have misconducts like we used to. So I'm not really worried about that. And I had to change the parameters. So I went with any player who had 89 penalty minutes, and I did that because I was going to stop at 90, but there just wasn't enough players to make a top 10 list. So I stopped at 89 penalty minutes and a minimum of 10 goals. You have to have scored at least 10 goals to qualify for this list. So, with no further ado, we get to number 10. And he had 127. So combined, Brandon Dubinsky, 127, the Columbus Blue Jackets. He comes in at number 10. Number 9. He had 13 goals last year, so he qualifies. He comes in with 133 points. Chris Stewart, 133 IQ, Intimidation Quotient points, not actual points. Anybody who's like, wait, did he just say Chris Stewart had 133 points? Yeah, that's according to this chart. Chris Stewart's number 9. Number 8, the guy who had 89 penalty minutes. And I had to finagle things so that he could get onto it because otherwise I would have a top 9. Josh Anderson, 140. And I think his totals are going to go up. Columbus was very big on not losing him in expansion, and that's part of the reason why. This one's going to go up too. Matt Tkachuk, 144. So, Matt Tkachuk, number 7 on the Intimidation Quotient chart, come up with by me. Number 6. Andrew Shaw of the Montreal Canadiens, 146. It's an interesting list. Like I said, this is based on penalty minutes and goals, not points. And I'm not going to do strictly penalty minutes because then you skew the list in favor of basically the enforcers. And that's not the way that Hockey News did it either. Number 5. With 151 points, Antoine Roussel. I like Roussel, but I understand why other players, other fans don't. He skirts that line regularly. Number 4. You'll notice a jump in the point total. Patrick Maroon, 176. So, you know, Patrick Maroon has evolved into a pretty damn good player, and you better believe the next time he's got a contract he needs signed, he'll bring up this kind of stuff. I can score goals and get penalty minutes, and I'm a big guy, and I don't hurt your top 2 lines. So that's going to be a big thing. watch for another point jump. 15 points ahead of him is Nazem Kadri. 32-goal season. There you go. We could call this a power forward rankings too, but I don't necessarily think that penalty minutes are as much a factor with power forwards now. Like Milan Lucic only at 50, so Lucic doesn't qualify for this board, but he didn't really have to fight. There were a lot of times that he looked like he was willing to, and guys are like, yeah, forget it. I got other things to do. I got to go bowling. I'm just not going to fight with you. I want to go play golf after the game. I don't want to fight with you. You can just go sit over there. It does happen that certain guys, as they get more of a reputation, players are just like, I'm not fighting you. Number 2, surprisingly, for some, would be Evander Kane. Evander Kane, high IQ. I'm going to let you guys percolate on me saying Evander Kane has a high IQ. Go ahead. I want Jets fans to chime in on that one, actually. And number 1, and this should surprise no one, because the Flyers are well known for having an intimidating roster. The reason I'm wearing the Flyers isn't because Wayne Simmons is number 1. It's because the Flyers have traditionally had high IQ players. Whether it was Bobby Clark or it was anybody on their blue line, because this is just forwards. So I might as well say too, this is just forwards, power forward kind of rankings. On Philly, you could count on at least a couple of guys who would have been high on this list. Bobby Clark would have destroyed this list in his heyday. And that's why Lindros had struggles as a Flyer, because Clark's attitude was concussion, who cares, get out on the ice. We all played through concussions. Reggie Leach played drunk. Get out on the ice. Got a hat trick. Go out and play. So there's the top 10. As I said, you have to have 10 goals and a minimum of 89 penalty minutes to qualify for this list. It's an interesting list. So here's my question for you guys. Which players moving up? Which players dropping off? And which young players are going to crack this next? Because I'm going to say right now, I think Josh Anderson's going to move up. Matt Tkachuk's going to move up. Yeah, those are the 2 guys that I think are going to move up the chart. But this is why Wayne Simmons, anytime anybody wants to make a trade with Philly, they start with, is Simmons available? And after the laughing on the other end of the phone dies down, they are, all right, well, we'll take, and then they insert the name of whatever other player they're willing to take. Wayne Simmons is a damn good player. He can score, he can hit, gets you penalty minutes, and he's got a high IQ. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And again, this is the kind of stuff I've been wanting to do videos on for the last couple of weeks, so I'm getting it out now while I have the time. And thank you all for being there. This is why I do it. I'll talk to you again soon.